Hey guys, Giggity back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down the 8-game MLB slate starting at 7:05 p.m. August 3rd, 2020. Before we jump into this 8-game slate, which I'm actually quite excited for, it's got some good pitching today, so could be have some interesting spots to go to. If you guys have not checked out tilteddfs.com, I'm a content creator, so is my brother. For it, they have really good free articles in CSGO, MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, PGA, UFC, all that good stuff, and it's all free. So go ahead, links in the description. Go ahead, check them out below, and the link for their Twitter will also be in the description below. Go ahead, check them out on Twitter. Before we really get jumped into the slate, going to go over my lineup from last night. It was all right. The mindset was right. Peterson had one of the better days. He was actually on the winning lineup, which we'll look at in a minute. Cease did not have that good of a day, even though the White Sox did win 9-2. He only got 17.9 points, so nothing crazy. My one-off got a home run. My Mets 2 didn't score that much because the Mets didn't score that much. And then my main stack yesterday was Cleveland because they were going up against a bullpen game, and it turns out that they sucked. So that was not a good play from yesterday. I think the winning lineup from yesterday ended up being a Coors lineup. So we go up to Raging Phillip, 100K winner from yesterday, had Brought from Pittsburgh, who only pitched 3 innings, didn't allow a single hit, got 4 strikeouts, solid. And had a Coors stack minus Newman, who Newman got a home run. So congrats to you, 100K richer. But we'll go ahead and jump into today's slate, starting with the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Yankees. Phillies we have not actually seen since they played Miami. So this one should be interesting to see them back. They were on COVID watch. None of their players were actually tested positive, so that was good for them. You got Garrett Cole on the mound for the New York Yankees at $11,000. And you got Jake Arrieta on the mound for the Philadelphia Phillies at $6,200. Garrett Cole is always a fantastic option, no matter who he's playing. I don't mind getting to him. I'd rather pay up for Jacob deGrom if I can, but I don't mind going to Garrett Cole at $11,000 as a $600 discount. So getting to him will just be or deGrom will be in the matter of how much money I have, if I'm able to actually build a lineup that way. On the flip side, Philadelphia's stack is going to be really, really low owned today. Going after McCutchen, Hoskins, Harper, Real Muto, Gregorius is going to be a way to get different. They're going to all be probably less than 5% owned on this 8-game slate, which is really, really low owned. And if they happen to get Garrett Cole out in like the 5th inning and they have 4 innings to work against a bullpen, could work out decently for Philadelphia against the Yankees. On the flip side, I'm not getting to Jake Arrieta at all, especially against probably one of the best offensive teams in the league in the Yankees. Going after the Yankees is going to be expensive, so you're either going to have to go after the Yankees stack, or you're going to want to get either Garrett Cole or Jacob deGrom. So there's not really a in-between. You're not really going to be able to get to a solid Yankee stack with one of those pitchers. But if you did want to go, my recommendation would be 2 through 6. So Judge, Torres, Stanton, Hicks, and Viot. If you wanted to go down to Sanchez at 7 to get a high offensive catcher, not a bad option as well. Moving on to the Mets at Atlanta. You got Jacob deGrom going for the Mets at $11,600, and then Mike Soroka going for the Braves at $9,400. And if I can get to Jacob deGrom, I'm going to get to Jacob deGrom. Strikes out about 32% of his batters. He's probably the best pitcher in baseball. And it's hard to want to not get to him today, especially against the Braves. Braves are a decent offensive team, but they're tougher in the league. I do think that the Atlanta stack will be low owned today. So going after Acuna, Albies, Freeman, Ozuna, and Adams might be an interesting choice, just like the Phillies stacks, just because they're going up against probably the best pitcher in the league. Going after a Atlanta stack could be quite contrarian today. On the other side, Mike Soroka going for the Braves strikes out about 20% of his batters. I don't mind getting to some Mets today. Getting to Nimmo, McNeil, Alonso, Conforto, and Cano. You could get to some Dominic Smith. He is pretty cheap. He's the replacement for Yoenis Cespedes, who just opted out of the 2020 season. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't mind getting to him as a value play for today. Next one, you got Pittsburgh and Minnesota. You got Lewis Thorpe at 8,400 going for Minnesota. And you got Derek Holland at 6K going for Pittsburgh. Not really going after either pitcher in this matchup, just because Thorpe's a little expensive at 8,400 when I'd rather pay up for other guys, so I don't really want to get to him as an SP2. Why is it doing that? Can it not, please? Thank you. And I'm not really getting too much Pittsburgh. If you are getting to it, once again, it's Bell as a one-off, and that's pretty much all that I want to get to. I mean, Newman hit the home run last night, but not really interested. Holland strikes out about 22% of his batters for Pittsburgh. I'm down to get to a Minnesota stack today. Get to Garver, Polanco, Cruz, Rosario, and Sano. They are going to be a little bit pricey, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to Jacob deGrom or Garrett Cole if I go that way, but it's definitely a solid option to want to go after the Minnesota hitters today. And especially against a Derek Holland who's not really the best of pitchers, so don't mind getting to some Minnesota today. On to the Chicago White Sox and the Milwaukee Brewers. And you got Carlos Rodon for Chicago at 7K, which is quite intriguing for me. And where's the minute? And Brett Anderson for Milwaukee. I'm actually interested in getting to Rodon today at $7,000, just because he's one of the cheaper options. I think it would be a nice pairing with Jacob deGrom. Like if we put 1 and 2 together, it would leave $39.25 for the average for all your players. So it's actually not that bad of an option to go to, especially if you can find like a value catcher in there somewhere. He strikes out roughly 29% of his batters. I'm totally down with going after him. On the Milwaukee Brewers hitting side, I think I would only really want to get to Christian Yelich, but not even. I'm not really a big fan of the Milwaukee side today. And if they go off for 10 runs, so be it. I'm just not. I'd rather get to Rodon today. On the other side, you got Milwaukee's Brett Anderson, who strikes out about 12% of his batters, which is gross. Fly ball rate's about quarter of the time. So I don't mind getting to a little bit of Chicago hitters. Not too many. Moncada, Abreu, Encarnacion, maybe Jimenez. Just get to like 3 or 4 of them. If you're going to build a secondary stack with them, that's probably the best way to go. And not really getting to much of this game, but it's definitely a decent option if you want to go Chicago. Next game is the Kansas City Royals and the Chicago Cubs. Cubs got Alex Mills going on the mound, and Kansas City has Danny Duffy. You got Mills at 26% strikeout rate. I don't mind getting to him at 8K. In a one lineup, I'd rather try to pay up for DeGrom or Cole, which means I wouldn't be able to get to Mills, but that's fine. I wouldn't mind getting to Merrifield, Soler, and Perez for Kansas City. I'm constantly getting to Kansas City, so be it. Normally they've been pretty cheap, and if they stay, I think Merrifield got priced up, but I think the other two are still in the 4Ks, so still solid options, and I don't mind getting to some Kansas City. I'm not getting to Danny Duffy. Absolutely not, especially against a dynamic offense in the Chicago Cubs, who are getting off to a hot start. I'd rather get to Rizzo, Baez, Contreras, and Hayward as like a 4-stack for Chicago, and just moving on from there. Not really getting too crazy about Chicago, but I'm not getting to Danny Duffy today. It's just not practical. And the last time I played a Kansas City Royals pitcher bit me in the ass, so I'm not going to Kansas City anymore. Their pitching is just not good. So, all right, and now we got the Coors game. We got a weekend of Coors. Weekend of Coors. Yeah. No, it's Monday. We got a week of Coors. Giants and the Rockies in a Coors game with Johnny Cueto pitching. Give me some Colorado. They're gonna be chalky, but I'll take some Colorado. As much as I hate going after Coors because they're normally pretty high owned. But going up against Johnny Cueto, I'll take Dahl, I'll take Story, Chapman, Arenado, and Daniel Murphy. It kills me that I have to go to Colorado today, but that's probably the best stack to go to. And that's where I want to get to. On the other, pitching matchups. Chichi Gonzalez at 6,200 for Colorado and Johnny Cueto at 5,100 for San Francisco. On the flip side, I like the Giants today as well, getting to Yastrzemski and Dickerson, maybe Solano, maybe Belt. Could be a decent option. I'm not getting the Chichi. Strikes out 16.5% of his batters. Not really too interested in that. And just, if I have to get to him, those are the players I'd get to. I'm still going to try to fade Coors Field just because it's going to be chalky, but if I can't, I can't. So, next game is Oakland and Seattle. Maybe an Oakland stack as a contrarian play. Woo! I've been going to Oakland way too much lately, and I'll probably going back just because I really like the Oakland stack. Simeon, Chapman, Laureano, Kana, Olsen. It's just a solid stack to go to, and I don't mind getting to it. Especially against Sheffield, who strikes out 21% of his batters. The K rates on Oakland is not really too crazy high, so I don't really think Sheffield's going to be able to do that much against the Oakland Athletics. Now queue up 6 no-hit innings as he has to get pulled or something like that. Queue up a really good performance from Sheffield, seeing that I said that. On the other side, Montas, Sheffield is 5,800. Montas is 7,200. Don't mind getting to Montas going up against Seattle. Strikes out 25% of his batters. So getting to Montas might be a halfway decent option for me. if I wanted to get to Garrett Cole. On the other side, Lewis is probably the only, Lewis and Crawford, or whoever bats leadoff, because they're most likely going to be cheap. As a one-off, this is the only way I really want to get to anything Seattle. And last game of the day is the Dodgers and the Padres, where you get Walker Buehler at 10-3, 29% ownership. And then on the San Diego side, you get Chris Paddock at 7,600. Walker Buehler is going to be under-owned because Garrett Cole and Jacob deGrom are on the slate. Walker Buehler is going to be under-owned. So maybe getting to Walker Buehler instead of the other two might be a decent idea. Just for ownership leverage on that one, because I have a feeling that deGrom and Garrett Cole are going to be decently high owned. But going after San Diego might be a Braves Phillies situation where Walker Buehler might be a little bit owned. Not a lot of people are going to be getting San Diego. Stacking San Diego might be a contrarian play. Going after Tatis, Grisham, Pham, and Profar, or even Myers. Will Myers is always a decent option. He's normally pretty cheap, so getting to San Diego might not be a bad idea for a contrarian play. I'm not getting Chris Paddock, even though he strikes out about 26% of his bats. I'd rather get to the Dodgers today because it's hard to go against the Dodgers. Going Muncy, Betts, Bellinger, Turner, and Seager against Paddock is going to be a solid option for me. That's where I'm going to want to get to if I'm playing this game, which could very well be another leverage spot from the Coors game. So going after the Dodgers might be a solid choice for today. But that's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, make sure you like, subscribe if you're new. Check out Tilted DFS, links in the description below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Good luck, everybody.